What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Like always, like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. And today I want to go over what is potentially one of my most favorite books of all time. It was so good. It wasn't tons of action, but anyways, it was Star Trek, an original series novel, Uhura's Song. Um, Now, even though this was probably one of my most favorite Star Trek books I've read so far to date, I'm still going to give it a rating of a 9 out of 10. We'll just jump straight into the rating. The reason being is because, for one thing, Uhura, I wanted more of her in the book. She got a prominent role, but I would have liked more of her in the book to be an MC. The original character that was introduced in the book was really cool, so that was pretty cool to see. And so that was pretty excellent, meeting the original character, Dr. Evan Wilson. And then 9 out of 10. It should have been an 11 out of 10, but the author's writing didn't flow well for me. Like, I found myself going back and having to read certain parts of the chapter or something, or it could just be me personally. Maybe if someone else picked it up, it flows well for them. But for me, it just didn't flow. It didn't flow super awesome for me. But the it took me a little bit longer to read the book than it should have, is what I'm basically saying. But otherwise, though, the book was awesome. So the Enterprise is on this planet. The Eunuians, or I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name right, cat people on this planet, and they're dying of this thing called the ADF syndrome. And then it starts to infect the humans, and so they're dying. So the Enterprise is sent on an urgent mission from Starfleet to basically break protocol and find that a possible origin planet of these cat people. It's just speculation. One of Uhura's songs, she sings all these songs, and there's a song that she was taught by one of the cat people, whose name was Sunfall. And her and Spock figure out that, well, Scotty gives them the idea, and her and Spock kind of figure out, kind of try almost pinpoint the location of where the origin planet may be. Well, it turns out they find the origin planet, the Savoans. The planet is Savoa, and they seem primitive, the cat people there, but they're really not. They're kind of advanced. So, um, they're there. They land there, but these cat people, they act like they don't understand that there's these other descendants of theirs on another planet farther away. They're just like, ignoring it. They're getting mad. So the Starfleet crew has to, like, embrace themselves in these cat people's culture, and follow their ways and stuff. And so they get to know them, and all that's really good. The book is so good as the two cultures mesh, and you really start to like these cat people. And I know, shocker, I'm not a cat person, but I really enjoyed these characters in the book. And the original character, Dr. Evan Wilson, was so cool. And everybody that got a main part in the book just did a great job. The cat people, Bright Spot and Jinx, whose name eventually becomes another Starfleet, Catchclaw, Kirk and Spock had great prominent roles. Uhura, when she was there, she shined. And so all that, I mean, it was overall a great book, a great experience. It was a great character building type of book, and you really felt their world on Savoa while they were there. So as it turns out, everyone in their culture is looked at as a child until they do this thing called a walk, and they have to walk from one camp to another. And when they get to the other camp, they then become adults. So the Starfleet crew that's there, which is Kirk, Spock, Uhura, and Chekhov, and Dr. Wilson, they they make this walk with Bright Spot and Jinx. And on the way there, Chekhov ends up contracting the ADF syndrome, which they have a different name for it. They weren't realizing what Starfleet, or what I keep saying Starfleet crew, but the Enterprise crew was talking about. And they called it something different. They called it noisy baby or something like that. So it turns out they have the cure for it. So they have to continue their walk. They have to fight these, like, saber-toothed tiger looking creatures, which is some pretty good action going on there. And so it turns out Jinx, who becomes name another Starfleet, she wants to join the Starfleet crew or Enterprise crew because she's had her problems within her culture on her world. And so they do the walk and all that. and I don't want to spoil too much more of it, but yeah, I mean, it was a really good book, especially like the little baby cat people. They're so funny when they come in, and there's a lot of like humorous scenes, like the way Dr. Evan Wilson is towards Spock is just, it's pretty awesome. If you've watched any of the original series, like I'm not even that far into it. I've watched five of the movies and like most of season one, but I feel, you really love the characters after just a few episodes, or even if you watch just the movies, you really love the original series characters. There's just something about the original series, even though the Next Generation is by far my favorite so far, because we're kind of going back and forth. We're way into the Next Generation. The characters from the original series, just as a whole, really are something special. And it just, I don't know, I can't explain it. And especially with the books that I've read, I'm really addicted to the original series books. Like, I was trying to follow this list I got curated for fans. I've heard to talk about it in other Star Trek videos, but I'm finding myself going back to these original series novels time and time again, and every single one I've loved so much. Like, this is absolutely my favorite original series novel so far. It's a lower rating because the flow of the writing, it took me a little longer than I wanted it to take. And it's also Christmas. Like, the day of recording is Christmas Day, but still, having to go back and read stuff I don't like to do. So, that bothered me. But I mean, oh man, if you like humanoid cat things, or stuff like that, or you're a fan of Uhura, which I am a fan of Uhura on the show, and so it was a really good book, and I hope there's other books that give her a prominent role. I wish she would have had more spotlight in this book, but what she got was great, so, no complaints there. It was just the flow of the writing. But that's it. I mean, other than that, the book was amazing. I really loved it. I can't praise it enough. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend this one. It was perfect. I can't say it was. I don't know how to say it. The writing was, the flow of the writing wasn't perfect, but the story, the way it comes together, it was just so, I don't, even though the Enterprise was under a lot of pressure to find a cure to save all these people, it didn't feel like, you weren't anxious. You were having a good time following the Enterprise crews that intermingled with the Savoans, and I can't say enough about it. It was great. It was great. When I share the short and the TikTok, I'm not even going to put my rating for this one. I'm just going to say I loved it. It's my favorite original series novel so far. No doubt about it. I had a great time. I hope I could get my wife to read it and get her to do a review on it too. At some point, I'll maybe in a few months, let this one fade out. But that's the video today, guys. Star Trek, an original series novel. A mysterious music holds the clues to save an alien race. Uhura's Song by Janet Kagan. I forgot to mention the author was Janet Kagan. Great job. Love this book. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Later.